You always have to explain to people that they always do a quick
Okay. So just a couple of things I wanted to say. Some thank yous, obviously to Transformers Song Ensemble. We don't get enough exposure. We don't get enough exposure in London. Very, dedicated, hardworking musicians for a very long time. So thank you for being part of this evening. And to Tim, thank you. Tim's he's kind of reluctant sometimes to perform, and so we're really grateful that he was willing and to come in tonight and do that amazing stuff that he did.
I'm not reluctant, I just never get asked.
Oh, okay, all right. We'll try and do that again. All right. Colin, who has been here all week with Jesse and helping to support the project that we've been working on. And when we talked about bringing Jesse in and doing performance and residency, Colin said, well, okay, so who's going to open for him? So I left that up to Colin, and so he's responsible for doing a lot of the work tonight and the sound. So thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. He's had a quick comeback from last night, so thank you. I also like to thank the Canada Council for the Arts for funding Jesse's residency, so what can I say? Jesse, thank you. We've had a great week. Jesse's been here all week, and we've been trying to support him in the work that he's doing, and it's been a really exciting week for me, and I think this is an opportunity, obviously, to enjoy what he does best. I'm not going to say a lot about Jesse because he's done everything.
I haven't done everything.
Well, no, actually you haven't done everything yet. Yeah, you're still working on that. So, and he's got this amazing piece of amazing instrument with him, which he's going to be playing called the Reactable. He's going to talk a little bit about that. So, Jesse, thank you, and you're on.
So I guess maybe I'll just begin by continuing the round of thanks. I would like to express my sincere thanks to David Beaubier, sir. Not only for the invitation to come and do a residency, to be here for the week, and to interact with the technology here and get to know a little bit about the things that go on at the Vibrafusion Lab, but just even for creating this space, doing this really important work in your community here. So a big thank you to David. I too would like to thank Colin as well, for all your help this week. Thank you, Colin. Some of you may know, and many of you probably don't. I had Colin's key to this place last night, and so at the end of the night after the open mic, Colin couldn't leave. He was here all night until David arrived in the morning because he couldn't leave the place. So that's dedication. I feel really bad about that. I'm sorry, Colin, but thank you. And thank you for everything. Okay. I also want to say thank you, and Tim mentioned this as well, to Sebastian, who's going to be screening the film, projecting the film this evening. And so when I arrived here on Monday and loaded in all my gear, the first thing I noticed was that there are some shelves and then stacks of 16mm film reels there. And I said, wow, what is this? And David explained that the London, Ontario Media Arts Association, is that right? Yes, LOMA. Yes, is sort of co-located with the Vibrafusion Lab, and I thought, wow, this is a very interesting archive here. I feel like it's too good an opportunity to pass up, and so I pulled a couple reels off and read the side of them, and there was one that said Universe. And I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And then Sebastian swung by, and without even opening it, Sebastian said, oh yeah, that's the 1960 National Film Board of Canada film. And he knew the film.
Yeah.
I did not. And but at any rate, I said, well, maybe I'll look at that, and maybe we'll incorporate that into the performance. And so I looked at this film, and have since done just a little bit of reading up on it. And Sebastian was right, 1960, National Film Board of Canada, Roman Kroitor, is that right, Kroitor? And Colin directed this film. And it's a fairly well-known NFB film, in part because it was a major source of inspiration for Stanley Kubrick when he was making 2001: A Space Odyssey. And in fact, I believe the narrator of this film actually did the voice of Hal, the evil computer, in 2001. That's the level of interest that Kubrick had in this film. So all of this I've learned in the past few days. You won't hear the narrator because we're not going to be playing the soundtrack. Instead, I've created a new piece for a new kind of soundtrack, I guess. The previous soundtrack was by an NFB composer named Eldon Rathburn, whose work I know a little bit. In part because one of my colleagues at Carleton University is actually writing a book about Eldon Rathburn. I know his music a little bit, but I don't know this particular piece. But nonetheless, we're not going to hear that either. Instead, I'm going to be creating a new kind of soundtrack that maybe it's not really a soundtrack, but rather something that'll run in kind of counterpoint to the film. Is loosely inspired by the film, having watched it, a dozen times or so over the past 5 or 6 days. So I'll be using the reactable. Tim mentioned it, and David mentioned it. That's this instrument here. I'm mainly going to be using it as a controller to basically play different samples and then add various kinds of filters and things. Most of the samples that I will be working with are in fact sounds from space. Sounds that have been emitted by various celestial objects that have created radio emissions here on Earth that happen to fall within the spectrum of human hearing. And not too long ago, NASA made several of such sounds available publicly online. And so I'll be using mainly those kind of sounds from NASA. And then I also have some drums. And I might also play this instrument as well at some point. This is called a waterphone, so named in part because it has water inside of it. I'll slosh it around. Can you hear that? Yeah. And the other reason that it's called a waterphone is the person who invented this instrument in the 1960s happened to be named Richard Waters. And so it has water inside. His name's Richard Waters, so we called it the waterphone. And he, in fact, made that instrument for me. So so I think that's about it. Afterward, the film runs 28 minutes or so, give or take. And afterwards, you'd be welcome to come up and check out the instruments, check out the reactable and the waterphone if you would like. But because of the projection, maybe we could, maybe stay seated during the 28-minute film. And then afterwards, you're more than welcome to come and check it out. Yeah, I would invite you to do that. But again, big thank you to Sebastian, to Colin, to David, and to all of you for being here tonight. Okay, so I guess we'll start the lamp there, or are you going to keep it on? Yeah, I can turn it off, so we'll have